Ryousuke stood quietly, gazing up at the night sky in his small, tranquil village. Each gust of the cool evening wind seemed to stir a subtle unease within him. It was an inexplicable, vague anxiety, a voice whispering in his mind, something bad might happen. This feeling, though seemingly irrational, is something many of us experience in our daily lives. But where does anxiety originate? How can we reduce it, prevent it from growing, and live without letting it dominate our minds? Through today's story and the teachings of Buddhism, let us seek these answers together. What is the true nature of anxiety? The unease Ryousuke felt was like a shadow without form. It was not tied to any immediate danger, but stemmed from a vague fear of the unknown future. In Buddhism, one of the root causes of anxiety is ignorance, avidya, which refers to the inability to perceive the true nature of things and being caught in a haze of uncertainty. For example, when we see an indistinct shadow in the darkness, our minds may interpret it as something frightening. But when we shine a light to examine it closely, it turns out to be just a branch or a swaying piece of cloth. Many of our anxieties arise in this way, from unclear and undefined fears. Training the mind to prevent anxiety from growing. Buddhism emphasizes the practice of mindfulness, sati, as a way to prevent anxiety from escalating. Mindfulness involves focusing on the present moment and accepting reality as it is. One day, Ryousuke sought advice from the village elder. "Why do I feel so anxious all the time?" he asked. The elder smiled and replied, "Ryousuke, anxiety is your mind's reaction to the future. By imagining what has not yet happened and overthinking, you allow anxiety to grow. Instead, try focusing on the present moment." Following this advice, Ryousuke took a deep breath and concentrated on the scenery before him. Gradually, his anxiety began to diminish, and he regained a sense of calm. The hidden lessons within anxiety. Ryousuke continued to live with the elder's teachings in his heart. One day, as he spoke with the villagers, he realized that many of them shared similar anxieties. Some worried about their families' futures, while others were concerned about work or health. The elder explained, "Anxiety itself is not inherently bad. It is a signal trying to convey something to you. But if you misinterpret that signal, anxiety will end up controlling you." Hearing these words, Ryousuke began to reflect on what his own anxiety might be trying to communicate. Sometimes, it reminded him of a lack of preparation for the future. At other times, it revealed the need to confront and clarify his inner uncertainties. Overcoming anxiety with wisdom. In Buddhism, wisdom, prajna, is considered essential for overcoming anxiety. Wisdom enables us to see the true nature of things. To understand the origins of his own anxiety, Ryousuke practiced observing it with a calm and open mind. One day, while walking along a mountain path, Ryousuke suddenly felt anxious. This road might be dangerous, he thought. He stopped and carefully examined his surroundings. He then noticed some loose rocks on the trail, which posed a genuine hazard. By observing his anxiety calmly, he was able to identify a real danger and act appropriately. Befriending anxiety. The elder once told Ryousuke, "You cannot completely eliminate anxiety. Instead, you must accept it as a companion and learn to manage it wisely. When you listen to what anxiety is trying to teach, it becomes a source of strength, guiding your actions." Ryousuke began asking himself, "What is this anxiety trying to tell me?" whenever he felt uneasy. Over time, anxiety stopped being an enemy and transformed into a helpful guide. Reaching a state of peaceful mind. In the final scene of the story, Ryousuke gazed at the night sky once more. What once seemed frightening, like the darkness, now appeared serene and beautiful. By letting go of his inner uncertainties and learning to embrace his anxieties, he had found inner peace. Buddhism teaches that all things arise from the mind, are led by the mind, and are shaped by the mind. The key to achieving peace of mind is not to eliminate anxiety, but to understand it, embrace it, and use it as a tool for growth. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope this story helps lighten your heart and inspires you to transform anxiety into a friend.